Opening scene, a tiny record shop in London, 1967. The bell above the door jingles as Davy Jones stumbles inside, shaking rain from his mop top like a disgruntled terrier. "Blimey, it's bucketing down out there." He flashes a grin at the shopkeeper, a curmudgeonly old bloke named Harold, who hasn't smiled since the Suez Crisis, and immediately starts flipping through vinyl with the urgency of a man on a mission. Enter you, ducking in after him, equally drenched. "You dragged me across town in a monsoon, because you had a feeling." "I had a vision," he corrects as he continues to scan the records. "And it was brilliant." You roll your eyes, shaking the rain from your coat. "I thought rock stars were supposed to be punctual, not psychic." I can be two things at once," he retorts with a smirk. "Besides, great minds arrive fashionably late." "You call dripping all over a vintage record shop fashionable?" You snort, raising an eyebrow at the damp footprints trailing from his boots. Harold the shopkeeper slams a mop down between you both like a duelist's sword. "Either buy something or stop bleeding rainwater onto my Persian rug." The rug is a moth-eaten scrap of carpet from 1952. Davy gasps, mock offended, as he brandishes a scratched-up 45 single. This is why we're here." He spins the record to reveal the label, Lullaby of Birdland by Sarah Vaughan. You blink. "You dragged me here for jazz?" "Not just jazz," he whispers, eyes alight. "The last copy in London. The one I heard whistling in my dream last night." Mickey bursts through the door like a tornado in a fringe jacket, holding aloft a live chicken, Reginald's stunt double, a stolen traffic cone for artistic ambience, and news. The band's van is on fire near Piccadilly. Davy doesn't miss a beat. Grabbing your hand, he sprints out the door, nearly tripping over Reginald the chicken, who squawks indignantly. With Mickey at his heels and Harold still hollering about his rug, you race through the rain-lashed streets. Davy's grip is warm and strong, laughter echoing off the deserted cobblestones. Next scene, Piccadilly Circus, 1967. A fire engine screams past as you all skid to a halt on a deserted corner. Amidst neon signs and glittering advertisements, the monkey's van looks like a tragic circus tent, belching smoke from under the bonnet. A cluster of gawking tourists snaps photos with phones, and someone's playing a harmonica off-key. Likely Mickey. "Bloody hell," you mutter as you race for the flaming vehicle. Davy's laugh cuts through the rain, all boyish charm and reckless laughter, as he grabs a fire extinguisher from the back of the van and joins the battle. You've never met a man so unbothered by chaos. Mickey grabs a bucket and leaps onto the roof, brandishing it like a warrior as if to drown the flames. He's the comic relief. 5 minutes later, backstage at the London Palladium. Later that evening, the band has relocated to the dimly lit corridors of the theatre, dripping but victorious. Mickey is holding court beside a catering table, describing their pyrotechnic victory to a rapt audience, and the bloke with the harmonica was so off-key that I swear the chickens were singing. As Davy slumps on an upturned milk crate, still soaked to the skin, you watch him with a hint of exasperation. He's relishing being the center of attention. He grins as you roll your eyes, accepting a towel from a roadie. "Come on, admit it. We made quite the scene," he says, swiping at his sodden bangs. "More like a disaster, you mean," you reply, shaking water out of your hair. "You'll be lucky if they don't ban us from the Palladium again after this escapade." Davy grins, utterly unrepentant, as he shakes his hair like a wet dog, spraying droplets everywhere. But being banned is half the fun. Gives us something to brag about back home." He leans closer suddenly, voice dropping to a conspiratorial whisper. "Besides, I heard a rumor they're serving biscuits in the green room. And between you and me?" His eyes dart toward Mickey, now attempting to balance a teacup on his nose for an impromptu circus act, before flashing you that trademark Davy Jones grin. "I bet we can nick the whole tin before anyone notices." Cue. Distant shouting as stagehands Channel 2 down a hallway. The record spins on. The night is young. Next scene, the green room, a few minutes later. Mickey and his teacup have vanished, but no such luck with the biscuits. Davy is perched on the edge of an overturned makeup table as he methodically chews his way through the emergency stash. He offers you a custard cream, crumbs clinging to his eyelashes. You shake your head, still wringing rain from your coat. "You're impossible, Jones. Anyone ever told you that?" He grins, completely unapologetic as he polishes off a crumpet. So I've been told. You should try the ginger snaps. They're proper ace. You glance toward the doorway, where staff has started trickling back in with disgruntled muttering. You know they're going to start locking all the exits, right? Final scene, the Great Biscuit Heist, a love story in 3 acts. Davy, mid-bite into a stolen jammy dodger, freezes as footsteps echo down the hall. Blimey, that's the stage manager. Quick, hide the evidence. He shoves half the biscuit tin into your hands with the urgency of a wartime spy disposing of contraband. Too late. The door flies open to reveal a fuming woman in a headset, and Mickey, now inexplicably wearing a traffic cone as a hat. Jones, her voice could frost windows. The fire brigade just sent us an invoice for Peacock-related damages, and Harold from Spinster Records is online too, demanding compensation for his allegedly priceless Persian rug. Davy beams like she's handed him a Grammy. Ah, so you've heard of our little escapade already. Brilliant publicity, really. Imagine tomorrow's headlines. Monkeys save London from arsonist poultry. Rolls right off the tongue. The manager pinches her nose. You stifle laughter into your sleeve as Mickey leaps up to join the conversation. It's true. We were the heroes of Piccadilly, don't you see? His new traffic cone wobbles ominously as he gestures. There were sirens, smoke, a chicken on the loose. For the last time, that chicken was not on the loose. It was on a leash, the manager cuts in. Ah, right, the leash, Davy says, not missing a beat as he hops off the table. That's the beauty of live shows. Anything can happen. He flashes the manager a smile that could charm a stone statue. So much more fun than just standing there strumming with pretty lights. The manager looks like she's counting to 10. Jones, we're not discussing your creative decisions. We're discussing your reckless disregard for property safety. Property schmoppity, he retorts. The point is, nobody got hurt, except maybe Harold, but that's more a consequence of his own shoddy business ethics, and we entertained a lot of tourists. He grins. Really, we did you lads a favor. You should be thanking us for all our chaos causing. Thanking you. The manager looks like a tea kettle about to steam. That van could have torched the entire theater. We'll be lucky if we don't lose future sponsorships. Cue, a sudden dramatic silence. The manager's words hang in the air like a bad chord. Mickey's traffic cone hat slips sideways with a clang. Davy freezes mid-bite, custard cream crumbs suspended in time. Even Reginald, too, the chicken, pauses mid-peck at someone's abandoned sandwich. Then Davy leans forward, eyes glinting. Sponsorships? Love, we are the sponsorship. He gestures wildly to the window. The grand finale, London Palladium roof, midnight. Against all odds, and several security guards, you've all ended up on the theater's rain-slicked rooftop. Davy balancing atop a gargoyle with a half-crumbled biscuit in hand, Mickey attempting to conduct an invisible orchestra with a traffic cone baton, and you clutching the stolen tin of ginger snaps like contraband. Below, the city glamber through the drizzle. All right, Davy announces, voice carrying over London's hum. New plan, we record the next album right here, live from the rooftops. No managers, no rules, just us, Reginald second. The chicken clucks approvingly, and whatever songs come to mind before Scotland Yard shows up. He grins at you then, suddenly soft at the edges despite his damp collar and mischief-lit eyes. You in? Somewhere in the distance, a siren wails. Harold shakes his fist at the sky, and history waits just once more for Davy Jones to jump first. The end? Or just intermission? Intermission, a moment of perfect chaos. The rooftop hums with the distant pulse of London below. Car horns, laughter, the occasional shouted profanity from Harold's general direction. Davy swings his legs over the gargoyle's shoulders like it's a trusty bar stool, fingers drumming an absent rhythm against his knee. The biscuit tin sits between you both like a shared secret. Mickey has somehow coaxed Reginald, too, into pecking out a vaguely Morse code rendition of Daydream Believer on an abandoned pipe. It's avant-garde. Davy leans back on his palms, surveying the skyline. He muses, they're always telling us to be professional. But I reckon, if your music doesn't set at least one thing on fire by accident, are you even trying? He tosses you wink and steals the last ginger snap with exaggerated stealth before dissolving into rain-damp laughter again. untamed and utterly alive in this flickering city light. A clatter from below signals security's arrival. Mickey yelps and tosses the traffic cone like a ceremonial torch as Reginald too takes flight in a flurry of indignant feathers, destined for greater crimes. Davy just grins wider as he grabs your hand, half to pull you up for escape, half just because he can. Cue curtain, cue encore, cue whatever comes next. Finale, epilogue, and a promise of further adventures. For the rest of that rainy night, you run through the streets of London like runaway children, a trio of wet musicians with a stolen biscuit tin tucked under one arm and an ill-behaving chicken under the other. You dodge security guards, leap over construction obstacles, and somehow end up performing on a random street corner at midnight. Just three fools belting out show tunes at the top of their lungs, lit only by a single street lamp. The sun was rising over the Thames by the time you stumble back to the van, somehow intact. But still missing a left headlight, the engine steaming, and probably wanted by both the police and Harold's wrath. Mickey slumps against the side with a sigh, grinning ruefully. Well, that was a helluva night. That was a lot. You correct? Still out of breath for some reason that isn't entirely due to running for your life. Beside you, Davy is leaning against the bumper, looking rumpled and roguish under the rising sun, as he grins like the world has finally caught up to his brand of chaos.